Back again in the morning. It's been a while, man.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good. We're doing an early morning session today.
Top of the morning?
Top of the morning, man. In
Yeah.
Canadian. Well, what time is it over there in Canada?
It's 7:30. I got up on my own at like 4:30 today. It was kind of I just couldn't fall back asleep anymore. So
Is it part of your morning ritual?
no, I mean I usually just I usually get up on my own, but not at 4:30. It was just I was like, oh, I felt refreshed. I couldn't fall back asleep. Plus, it's like hot and humid too. So
Is it really?
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
it's like 100 degrees almost every single day here in Florida, man.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys, yeah,
It's disgusting,
no
man. Like,
seasons there at all.
let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, like, honestly, I get up in the morning and I'm a coffee drinker, so I have to have my cup of coffee in the morning. So I get my coffee in the morning and I open my door and I walk outside. Instant humidity. I'm like, oh my god.
Is that right?
I mean, for some people that might sound magical, but for me, it's just like,
Not always, man. Humidity can be a bit much sometimes, especially when you're tired or groggy and you're not fully all there yet. It can kind of slow you down a little bit, I find.
let me tell you, man, like here, like living in Florida, being a Floridian now for quite some time,
Yeah.
you appreciate the heat because you're able to go to the beach. We have those perks. I get it. Um, we get to go to the beach. We get to go to the lake. We get to be outside more often. There's a lot more sunlight, here in Orlando.
Yeah.
But the humidity. I mean, for me, the humidity will be considered to like your winter, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes
Our
sense.
summers are like your winter, where you're just like, oh my god, you walk outside and it's just like instant cold, and being cold all the time and just not knowing what to wear. But
What's the coldest it gets down there for you guys? Like, what would
you
you
know what,
say?
man? Sometimes if we're lucky, we'll get down to
Yeah,
like we'll get down to the 30s. But
30 degrees Fahrenheit.
that's like early in the morning. But then like after like 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 or 12, it gets up to like 70 or 60. Depending on the day. But
Quite the gap.
it does get cool. I'm not gonna lie. It does get cool like January, February,
Yeah.
or sometimes in December, but not that much. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the holiday season, when it comes to like Thanksgiving or Christmas, you start seeing fall, you start seeing the fall colors, all the four seasons start kicking in, and
Yeah.
you start seeing the beautiful leaves and all that stuff. But here in Florida, you see palm trees and it's humid. It's humid.
It's humid, eh?
I don't even know how to dress.
It's like,
I'm like, man, I just want to, it is what it is. I mean, I live in Florida, so you get what you get.
so what do you guys do for Christmas? Like, do you guys even did you dress up a palm tree for Christmas and put an angel on top?
I
Or
don't.
what do you,
Not with mine. Not in
you
my
guys put a fake?
not in my front yard. I just put lights in front of my bushes, and that's about it. I call it a day, man.
Yeah.
And then I just put lights. I'll probably just put lights on the gutters and just, like I said, call it a day, man.
See, I think
No
if
snow.
you,
Don't ask no questions about snow because we ain't get no snow.
yeah, you get no snow, but I think when you ever come down here, you got to come down here in the wintertime one of these times, because
Oh yeah.
Christmas time here in Canada is like a authentic kind of a real Christmas kind of a feel to it, because I mean you got the snow, you got the cooler weather. I mean, if you snowboard, you get the snowboard too on top of that, but you get the tree. Some people do the real
Yeah.
tree. I haven't done the real tree yet. I plan on doing a real Christmas tree, as authentic as possible. So, you get kind of that, it's kind of a nice feeling with the winter involved there for us. So there are some perks.
That is definitely going to be a goal of mine to go visit Canada. I'll probably go around your neck of the woods in Alberta.
Yeah, man.
We'll go hiking in Banff.
Yeah. No, you would love it, dude.
I'm a huge Colorado fan, so that's my third home.
Definitely plan on going there. I would love to visit. Well, Colorado is like the same kind of Rocky Mountains that Alberta and BC have. So you'll definitely see a lot of that here.
Oh yeah,
So
man. I'm pretty
like
sure. I'm
Colorado,
pretty
you'll
sure.
be getting
I'm
there.
pretty sure you're gonna have a lot of similarities and all that stuff too. So,
Yeah, I can't wait to check out Colorado.
for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely a trip that we gotta do. It's definitely a trip we gotta do though. But we'll happen soon. We'll happen soon.
It's in the works.
Um, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we wanted to do a little discussion today. It's gonna be it's gonna be
It's an interesting one.
it's an interesting one, a sensitive, like a sensitive topic that people don't really talk about, and it's a sensitive topic because it can happen to anybody. It happens every day. So basically, it's like manipulation, narcissism, and
Narcissism, yeah.
stress, anxiety, and all the works.
You
So
know what? I think it's an important topic to cover because at some point in everybody's lives, you're going to be faced with this, whether that's in your family, whether that's in your relationships, whether that's in certain friendships. I think it's important for everybody to kind of understand that narcissists are everywhere. Okay. And it's important to kind of experience so you can kind of look for and know what to kind of do in those situations and kind of know how to handle them a little bit.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of those things where, like you said, I mean, it happens with everybody. Um, for example, when it happens, at least in the workplace, when you're at work and you're dealing with people who are, a lot of it, narcissism really comes from a lot. It really comes from it can be because, like I said, when I mentioned it's a very sensitive subject, is because people come from different situations. People have different opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
But narcissism could be in so many ways, and I'm going to give you an example. Like, let's just put the workplace, for example. You're going to work with a lot of people who may not like you. You're going to be in a situation where people are very aggressive. You're going to be in a situation where people are very negative. And sometimes these certain people may nitpick, or they want you to do a certain thing, and you better do it right. But no matter how good you are as an employee or as a person, it will never be good enough.
Oh yeah.
It will never be good enough. So you can look at this as both ways. Either you can look at it as a benefit, or you can let it bother you. And in my case, I allowed it to bother me for many years, for a very long time. And it didn't help my development as a person. It didn't help my development as an individual and as an employee, because I was always worried about what they thought. I was always worried about what they were going to think of me. I was always worried about if I'm going to get a raise. I was always worried that I may not be appreciated. And that really gets into your psyche, because you're not gonna perform to the best of your abilities, and that's a huge problem.
Totally.
And if you're never and to people like that, if you're never good enough, you're gonna be always constantly trying, and it's never gonna satisfy them. It really is never gonna satisfy them. Instead, they're gonna continue neglecting you.
Yeah, because you're just doing
right. They're gonna
seeking.
continue belittling you.
Yeah.
They're gonna continue talking bad about you. But yet to your face, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you're doing an okay job." No matter how good you did, no matter how how well you perform, no matter no matter how many hours you worked on your specific project, let's just say. No matter what you did, how long you could have been working from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on a specific project. And then when you were supposed to present it at 9 o'clock in the morning the next day, he just looked at you, or she looked at you, and it was just like,
Worst thing you could have ever done.
You did an okay job,
Yeah.
but you could have done this. You could have done X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. There's always a bar higher. There's always something that you could have did more, and there's just never any
Yes.
appreciation. Yeah,
Yes.
I've worked for one or two different types of management like that as well, and nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever satisfying, and you get to a point where you're just like, well, then why the hell am I bothering even trying in this job? You know, and then you just kind of lower your standards a little bit and just kind of tolerate it for a little bit, and you can either look for another job, or you can stay there and put up with it and try to approval seek, if you will. And approval seeking behavior, when somebody's got an expectation that's just unrealistic, you know, you're just basically it's like dangling a carrot in front of you the whole time, and you're just chasing after it. And yeah, I've dealt with that type of management before, man. It's the worst, and it can give you anxiety, like
Yeah,
going
it
to work.
does. Oh, that is the leading
Yeah, man,
cause.
that dread, the
That is the
drive.
leading
You dread
cause
every
of
red light
anxiety.
and
Yes.
turning green. You dread every single light on the way there. You're just like, and you dread even possibly even being maybe a minute late because you know you're going to hear about it.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
stuck in traffic, or you're stuck in whatever, right?
It's
Like,
it makes you honestly, Mike. It makes you miserable as an individual.
yeah,
It doesn't help the mental psyche. It doesn't help your self
100%,
development.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. Well, the reason we're talking about this today is because it happens on a daily basis. Okay. And one thing you have to understand too is right now we're all under COVID. Some of us may be quarantined. You know what I mean? Like, God
For a
forbid, if
while.
you, let's just, if you were, unfortunately, if you were, diagnosed with COVID and you got tested positive and you have to be quarantined 14 days with your significant other, and that certain person happens to be a narcissist. And there's a lot of problems that can come up with that.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot of problems that could come up with that. And it could be manipulation, it could be abuse, it could be so many things. Because like I said, everybody has certain situations.
Well, to add to that too, Angel, yes. I think a lot of people don't see those true colors until they really spend a great deal of time with someone. And narcissists aren't really capable, or it's going to take a lot. Let me just finish that off. Narcissists aren't really necessarily capable of showing the kind of love and affection that one really needs, as
Mhm.
far as communication, as far as respect, trust. I mean, it's kind of like their way, their expectation, or the highway. And there's a whole slew of underlying issues as to why that is. This could be from previous trauma. This could be from upbringing. This could be from school, school peer group, and it's just what they know. They probably didn't get enough affection or love as a kid. Maybe their mom and dad, maybe they had a very domineering mother who took over the reins as kind of the father role and the mother role, and kind of took on the masculine role instead of the feminine role. And with that being said, it kind of transitioned into the kid, who now could either have codependency issues, could have all sorts of communication issues, trust issues, and just feels that this is the norm. And narcissists, unfortunately, don't change unless something shakes them to a point where they say, I need help. I want to get some professional assistance with this, and actually come from a place where they really want change. Otherwise, they don't change. That's just really how they are. They may become a better version of themselves, but they really don't necessarily change.
Right.
Would you agree?
Oh, I agree 100%. You really nailed it you kind of like, I was gonna say the same thing when you were done describing it. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna always say it. People come from different situations, but usually a lot of narcissists don't really change. They don't really change who they are. They may change their perspectives. They may change the way they view. Because a lot of times with narcissists, are insecure with themselves. So a lot of these people need to feel superior to you in order for them to feel better about themselves. It all comes from insecurities.
Yeah,
It all comes from insecurities. It could come from a man who's an alpha male, okay? Who's an alpha male and is in a relationship with a, let's just say he's in a relationship with a beautiful woman. But that beautiful woman is deep inside, she may look beautiful in the outside, but deep inside she is miserable. She's miserable. Why? Because the way he is treating her. Okay.
yeah, it happens a
And
lot.
that happens all the time.
Yeah,
That happens all the time.
yeah,
You know, looks could be deceiving. Looks could be deceiving.
yeah.
Just because,
You never know
huh?
what goes on behind closed doors, man.
You really don't, man. You really do
Yeah,
not know what happens behind closed doors. You absolutely don't.
and
You absolutely don't.
yeah, and that's kind of why I find this a very interesting topic that I think a lot of people will be able to resonate with, is because in some form, way, shape, or form, you're going to come across a narcissist. I think that's
Yeah.
growth experience, so you can experience it and know that that's obviously something you don't want, and so you kind of need to experience the shit in order to get the good, kind of thing, is what I'm trying to say
Of course.
a little bit, right? So people kind of need to kind of experience that in a way, just so they can kind of see for themselves, and they can make their own assessments based on that and find out for themselves. Some people find out the hard way. Some people say, no way, I'm not dealing, and walk away. I mean, I've done that before in previous relationships when I dated a narcissist or whatever. And, the best feeling in the world is just being able to walk away and never look back, because that's all you can really do in a situation
Yeah.
like that. Because that
But
narcissist is going to try and control you and try and
yes.
manipulate you by using all sorts of different tactics, something that they've learned or seen growing up with their parents or with their whatever, school, work, something that's led them to that. And, that's triggered in their brain. And that's
Yeah.
something you won't just change.
Yeah.
That's
People who are, yeah, exactly. And people who really gone through situations of narcissism or narcissistic individuals um, really have that difficulty to really accept themselves as individuals. What do I mean by that? That can cause a lot of low self-esteem. That can cause a lot of insecurities. That can cause a lot of situations where you need to please a lot of people because that is your only way of self-improvement. Like you really need that self-gratitude of getting that comfort from someone else
yes.
to misplace that feeling that you don't have.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's what happens
basically
a lot. That happens a lot.
yeah, it's they communicate that in many different ways when it comes to controlling, it comes to blocking, when it comes to all sorts of different bullshit that they do. It's basically coming from a place of fear, insecurity, communicating, I'm not worthy,
Hmm.
please love me, or
But you will never get it.
yeah, but they don't
That
understand
person will never get
love.
it.
They don't understand real love. They don't
Yep.
understand
No, they don't.
what it's like because they've never really experienced that. So
Absolutely.
it's something that goes really many layers deep, and it's something that it's not your job to fix that person. It's not your job to try and reason with that manager. It's not your job to try and change that family member, whatever the case may be. It's not your job to fix them. They need to fix themselves.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
have to.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Well
yeah,
said. Well said.
yeah,
And like I said before, they will never, a lot of these people will never change.
yeah.
They
Like
will
if they
never
want
change.
change,
Going back to my example, when I'm trying to tell you about relationships, a, a narcissistic person, it could be male or female. It doesn't matter.
oh yeah, 100%.
Okay? It doesn't matter. It
Not
does
just
not
males. That's
matter.
for sure.
Females as well.
Yeah,
And people who are narcissists usually never change. 80% of the time, they will not change. Okay, even if you're in even if you're in a toxic relationship and you have the guts to walk away, or you just walk away in general because you can't take that person, well, guess what? That narcissist is going to find their next victim.
Oh yeah.
They're going to find their next victim and repeat the same thing.
Yeah. The
So
best
it's
thing
an
you can do,
it's an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing issue.
best thing you can do
So
is literally walk and never look back, because
you
that'll
really
just,
do. You
yeah.
really do. That's just the best way you could do. When it comes to a narcissist, the best thing you can do is just use that as fuel to better yourself as an individual.
Yeah.
Walk away from those certain situations,
Take the lesson.
take the lesson and walk away with it, share it with the world, or let it improve you as a person.
Yeah. No,
And
100%.
that could be everything. A narcissist could be anywhere, anywhere,
Yeah. That's just it.
anywhere.
There's many of them.
They're very silent with their craft. They're
Yeah.
very silent with their craft, and when you meet that person, it just creeps up on you. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. It's a whole slew of underlying issues there, man. And they don't know any better. They don't know anything else. This is just like I said, it's not your job to fix that person. You can support them if they really want change and go and get help. You can support them.
100%.
You know, be there for them.
Very
But you,
well.
as a person, should not be responsible or try to be the one responsible to fix that person. It's not your job. You're not their mommy or their daddy. You're not their therapist. You know, no matter what the situation, if it's a manager, if you're a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, it's, you know, that person, it's just better to leave that situation as quick as you can, because if that person has any type of revelation that they have any control over you, they're going to take what they can and capitalize on that. You know, you
Right.
give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
True.
Right?
But let me ask you this one question that they just popped in my head. As a coach, and if you had a client or you had someone who was asking you for advice on narcissism, or they're going through a situation where, as a coach, you're going to automatically trigger that sense. You're going to ask that certain person, what's struggling you, what's making you struggle as an individual, what's stopping you from
Yeah.
growing as an individual. Like, you already know, let's just say, for example, like, I'm just giving you an example. Like, let's just say that you have this sense, or if that person does admit that they have a certain narcissist in their life. What is one key advice that you can give that person?
You really got to weigh out the pros and cons. It's like, well, what is this person bringing you in terms of value? Is this person bringing you growth? Is this person somebody you can see yourself growing with? Or is this person making you feel stagnant, making you feel holding you back from living your life, from living your goals and your dreams? Because yes, I've coached quite a few people who are in relationships, and they tell me their number one, there's quite a few of them that told me that their number one factor that's holding them back is their spouse or their boyfriend telling them that they're worthless and they can't do anything, and that's a dumb idea, you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't go back to school, because they're coming from a place of fear, because they're fearing that they're not doing anything with themselves. I mean, just based on the questions I've asked them a little bit and dug a little bit deeper, you know, this person's coming from a place of fear, of insecurity, fearing that if their spouse loses weight, that they're going to leave them. So they're basically communicating, I'm not worthy, please don't leave me, kind of thing, right? So I say to them,
they're so comfortable in their
yeah,
situation.
it's like, well, how much are you going to take? It's like, it's your life. It's like, do you want to get to where you want to go and get to where you want to be? Or are you going to let this factor that's holding you back, and I'm circling it, it's a number one factor. It's like, how much longer are you going to let this go? Because time is passing you by. Time is going to keep passing by no matter what. You know, it's a matter of, you need to decide right now, is this person going to bring you growth and value in going forward? Are you going to grow with this person, or are they going to
Right.
just hold you back and cause you nothing but drama? And I asked them that to ask their own question, and and some of them do. Some of them decide, like, to hell with this. Yeah, I'm going to make a decision, and some of them just obviously carry on with it, and the rest is kind of history. They just stay stagnant, and they just they struggle with that. So
It is, and a lot of
not an
people,
easy decision. Like, it's not obviously, when there's a history involved with that person. Obviously,
of
it's not an
course,
easy decision for a lot of people, and I get that.
of course, and
But
a lot of times that what people don't really understand is that narcissists nitpick, they pinpoint their target.
yes,
That's one thing that they do. They
they take
nitpick their,
advantage of that.
they take advantage of that. They know who they can manipulate,
Yeah.
and once they find that target, they're under their realm, they're under their spell. So, you know,
Well, that's just it. And I asked them this too. I say, what is this person bringing you besides all this drama? And they really, can't really answer that so much. It's like, well, two people come to a relationship. You go there to give. You go there to help each other grow, to become more, not to bring each other down or bring that other person down, not to for your own desire, your own insecurity, to try and control that person, and in order to try and have them complete you. It's about two complete people who are sharing their completeness with each other to grow and become more. That's the idea, so they can communicate and love each other, and the rest is kind of history. That's my idea of effective way to kind of deal with something like that, right?
absolutely,
That makes
absolutely. And like I said, like it's just it's one of those things where it's once you see that person, you're gonna see it. For whoever's watching this video, what now you're gonna have a little bit of a better understanding of what narcissism is. And it's not always a great situation. It could be an easy situation, and maybe you're strong enough to understand that. You're strong enough to see that. You're strong enough as an individual to see past that. That certain person will always be a narcissist, but now you're stronger to see past that. You see right through them.
Yeah.
So to reverse, I can't even speak, to reverse the psychology on this is to, just comfort them, show them a side that they're not used to. A lot of times these narcissists, they don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like that. So if you
That's
show them kindness, if you show them love, if you show them
kill with kindness.
companionship,
Yeah.
if you show them the right way to live life in general, they don't like that. They'll listen. They probably won't hear you. They'll listen. There's a difference. They'll listen, but they won't. They won't know how to. They won't know how to take that. And a lot of the times, I'm giving some tips for people who may want to get rid of some narcissists. But a lot of the times with these people, is that if you really want to get rid of them, treat them with kindness. Show them the things that they don't know how to do.
Yeah. Don't let them
Watch
diminish
them
you.
walk away.
Yeah. Don't let them diminish you or get under your skin or
Yeah.
say and do, because then you render them powerless. And if you can render them powerless,
Yeah, that was a good point. Good point. Good point.
that's
Good point.
another thing too. They're gonna be like, what's going on here? This works every time.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Kind of
Yep.
thing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you can render them powerless and take back your own and say, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not dealing with this, blah blah blah, or if you're dealing with a manager, like I dealt with a real narcissist manager one time, and yeah, like just like I said, man, being able to just kind of hand in your termination letter was or resignation letter, I should say, rather, and it was the best feeling ever. It was just like, here you go.
He probably took that as an insult.
Smile on my face. I'm like, I've got really nothing more to say, so here's my documentation. And for the next 2 weeks, I'm pretty well not going to do a damn thing. That was pretty much it. Yeah. She was just like, well, you may as well stay home then, I guess. I'm like, okay, well, you have yourself a nice day.
Absolutely.
So that was the greatest
Absolutely.
thing ever, man. It was one example,
Yeah.
So
Well, Well, I
I'm sure
guess
this is a topic that a lot of people can resonate with, no matter what area of your life.
oh
So,
yeah,
um,
they all come from all walks of life, man. They creep up on you when you least expect it.
yeah, and I'm sure you and I will have a conversation about this eventually again. There'll be a part 2 and a 3 for that matter, probably with this topic, because there's so much that surrounds this topic that I
It
think
does.
I can't really
It
shorten
does.
it into a short podcast. But it's definitely something that we'll consider in the future. And I'm sure if you guys have any questions or comments, or let us know about your experience with this, what type of how it's affecting your goals and how it's affecting your life, and if has it been limiting you in a certain way, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like I said, I mean, like I said, everybody has different situations. So if you're watching this and you're currently under this situation,
Yeah.
like I said, that's why I keep on mentioning that we all have different situations where we have to deal with a narcissist.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you have any questions, I know it's a sensitive subject, and I know that not everybody likes to talk about it. But if you want more information and you want to privately message us, feel free. It's an open door policy with us. So I mean, like I said, when we talk to people, it's we don't share people's privacy with others, because that's not something that we do. So like I said, I don't understand this is a sensitive subject, and if you want more information about it, or if you want help, reach out to a therapist or a psychologist or someone that could really help you out. Or if you have any questions for us, please feel free to message us, and we'll be glad to help you as best as we can.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you know what I mean? So I mean, like whoever's watching this and is going through a certain situation, um, I wish you all the best.
Yeah, just know you're not alone, because
You're
we've
not
been through
alone. Absolutely not.
everybody has kind of gone through it at one point or another. And like I said, I think it's something that everybody kind of needs to experience a little bit to kind of get a general idea of it. So you can kind of watch for that, and know a little bit more of what you want and definitely what you don't want
Yep.
when it comes to your life, your values, your goals, your dreams, that sort of
Yep.
things.
You got to make it happen, especially when like I said, when we're all in this COVID pandemic situation, whirlwind, whatever you want to call it. It's tough, man. It's definitely a tough 2020 that we're all dealing with, but you can make it to the best of your ability, and this could probably be the best year of your life. There's so many ways that you can take this. There's so many ways you can view it. So I suggest that you make the right moves and you make the right decisions. Contact people who can help you. That's the only way to move on. And watch how things will change.
Become resourceful.
Become resourceful. Use your resources,
Yeah,
and
100%.
make the right choices as well. So we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah,
And I thank you guys for watching. So if you guys stay tuned for more episodes of the Two Cool Minds. And Mike, I will see you later, bro.
sounds good, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Peace.